From Snapchat to Zoom, some of your favorite athletes have invested in companies you may not have realized. Whether it's Serena Williams, Michael Jordan, or anyone in between, there's plenty of athletes with an eyebrow-raising business move. Welcome to FOS Explains. Today we're diving into some of the most surprising athlete investments, revealing the numbers and game-changing moves that helped them build unique business empires. Shaquille O'Neal has an investment portfolio that's almost as impressive as his NBA career. He was an early investor in Google and the Ring doorbell, and you've probably seen him in Papa John's commercials. But did you know that he has his own chicken shop in sports arenas around the country? Shaq co-founded Big Chicken in 2018. The food and recipes are inspired by his mom's and the dishes that she made Shaq growing up. O'Neal already invested in around 170 restaurants before even opening Big Chicken. But he says that this restaurant is more of a personal project than for profit. He wants to share the food that made him happy growing up. Big Chicken already has more than 30 restaurants throughout the US, including at the Kansas City airport, in 4 Carnival cruise ships, and 5 major sports arenas: the New York Islanders UBS Arena, the Moody Center in Austin, ASU's Mullet Arena, Palm Springs Acrisure Arena, and St. Louis's Busch Stadium. This was Shaq's first venture starting completely from scratch. His crew already has plans to open over 300 locations across the country, and if I had to guess, that probably means more stadiums and an NBA arena one day. Back in 2010, before becoming a 4-time NBA champion, Andre Iguodala and his business partner Rudy Klein Thomas began buying stocks in tech companies. So naturally, those investments went to another level after joining the Golden State Warriors and moving to Silicon Valley in 2013. His biggest find by far was investing in Zoom back in 2018, well before the platform became the go-to way for millions to video chat in 2020. The company was estimated to be worth around $1 billion a year before his investment. And after going public, the company would reach a max market cap of over $160 billion during the pandemic, which means the value of Iggy's stakes skyrocketed. Zoom's estimated value is back down around $24 billion as of 2024 though. The exact amount Iguodala invested isn't public, but he reportedly invested up to $150K across 40 tech companies at the time. And he said his only regret is not investing more in Zoom. Iguodala's tech portfolio extends beyond Zoom though. Since retiring in 2023, he now runs a $200 million venture capital fund called Mosaic that focuses on tech startups. He also invested in Datadog, a cloud data analytics platform, and Allwords, a sustainable footwear brand. Iggy has also mentored other athletes investing in tech and collaborated with prominent Silicon Valley figures, making himself a credible voice in the tech world. Serena Williams said that her tennis career was plan A, but that plan B was investing, and she started building up her portfolio while she was still playing. Today, she's invested in over 85 companies and has a firm called Serena Ventures. She's invested in fintech, crypto, plus health, sports, and wellness brands like Tonal and Daily Harvest. But digging deeper into her firm's portfolio, you'll see a few companies you may not realize she's involved in. Serena was an early investor in Masterclass. She found the company back when it was just 8 people working out of a garage. She loved what they were doing and put money into the company in 2015. 6 years later, Masterclass continued growing and received a $2.75 billion valuation. Serena says Masterclass is just one of 14 unicorns in her portfolio, which means private companies that she's invested in worth more than $1 billion. And some of those companies, like Impossible Foods, are worth over $10 billion, making them decacorns. And as a woman of color, Serena takes pride in investing primarily in companies with female and minority founders, which are historically 2 of the groups invested in the least. Being one of the most iconic basketball players of all time, Michael Jordan has made some seriously smart business moves since retiring from the game. Everyone knows about the endorsements and his sneakers, but his biggest business move was actually flipping the Charlotte Hornets. The Hornets may not have been very good under MJ's ownership, but that didn't stop him from flipping the team at a massive profit. He purchased the team for $275 million in 2010, and despite his squad being one of the worst franchises in the NBA throughout his 13-year reign, Jordan sold his majority stake at a $3 billion valuation. Since then, he's gone all in on the NASCAR team he created, 23XI, but I think MJ's most interesting business move was getting equity in DraftKings. In 2020, the company gave his heiress equity in return for being an advisor for guidance and strategic advice to the board of directors. The public response to this announcement sent the DraftKings stock price shooting up 8% the day it was announced. Alex Rodriguez is one of the most successful baseball players, but with A-Rod Corp, he has built a pretty large portfolio outside of the diamond. To date, his company has invested in more than 30 companies, the main industries being real estate, technology, and entertainment. One of the most famous early investments that came out of this company was Snapchat pre-IPO. A-Rod Corp bought an undisclosed amount of shares in Snap back in 2016, but the investment turned out to be pretty short-lived. The company went public in March 2017, and A-Rod's firm sold its shares for a profit just 8 months later. Then, of course, there's the minority stake that Rodriguez has in the Minnesota Timberwolves and Lynx. He and business partner Mark Lore agreed to buy the Timberwolves for $1.5 billion 3 years ago, but the process has been riddled with issues. They now own 40% after making payments in 2022 and 2023, but as of October 2024, it looks like they're going to have to go to court with the T-Wolves' current majority owner to determine whether they can buy the remaining 60%. Tennis legend Roger Federer is not only a 20-time Grand Slam champion, but also a pretty smart businessman. In 2021, Federer invested heavily in the Swiss running shoe company On. Terms were undisclosed, but various reports have estimated his stake to be around 3% at a purchase price somewhere near $200 million. Which would value the company at roughly $6 billion. Federer's investment would pay off quickly. On went public later in 2021, valued at over $11 billion. Meanwhile, the stock price and sales have continued rising ever since. The company has continued growing through 2024 and has reached a market share of over $15 billion. And Federer didn't just invest cash, he also joined their product development team to help them create his own signature line, the Roger. Jake Paul is one of the most divisive figures in sports and entertainment, and in 2022 he tried taking the sports industry by storm with his new company Betr. It's a sports gambling and media company centered around micro-betting. Micro-betting allows users to place bets on specific live event moments like the result of a single pitch or play. This form of betting has been making waves because of how quick it is. It seems like Paul is using a similar strategy to Shaq, using his celebrity status to be the face of his company and help it grow. Paul rose to fame on social media, becoming one of the biggest YouTubers and social media influencers in the world. And from there, he leveraged his fame into transitioning into a professional boxer. So naturally, Jake Paul leads the media side of the company. Betr has a creator-led media strategy, and he's the premier name and face. The startup has raised over $100 million in funding, a rate that values the company at about $375 million. It's not exactly clear how much money Paul put in to help get the company off the ground, but as one of the company's co-founders, it's safe to assume that the bigger Betr gets, the bigger the reward for Jake Paul. Naomi Osaka is a lot like Serena Williams in the business world, a female tennis star with an eye for investing in women, health, and wellness. As part owner of the NWSL's North Carolina Courage, she's made it clear that she wants to invest more in women's sports. She's also invested in Hyperice, an athletic recovery technology company, and Modern Health, a mental health platform. But it turns out she draws a lot of inspiration from LeBron James' investment portfolio. Now, the reason why I say she draws inspiration from LeBron is because in an interview with Bloomberg, Osaka said that she was unsure about getting involved in pickleball, but once LeBron invested in it, she started to think it was a good idea. In 2022, she invested in Major League Pickleball. She helped form the Miami Pickleball Club, becoming co-owners alongside big names like men's tennis star Nick Kyrgios, musician Kygo, NFL QB Patrick Mahomes, and NBA super agent Rich Paul. So what do you think about all these moves? Which athlete's investment surprised you the most? Let us know your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more on the business of sports.